Hey everyone, we're live. Coach Tommy here. We've got our friend, our compadre, Juan Benitez. As you can tell in the background, he is not on a pickleball court right now. So Juan, tell all these people who you are and where you are right now.
How's it going, guys? I'm Juan Benitez. I am a pro pickleball player. I'm originally from Colombia, but I'm based currently in Boca Raton, Florida. I'm a PPA sign player.
Mm-hmm.
Currently at the airport in Tucson, Arizona, catching a flight to Palm Springs to play the Masters,
Wow.
the first PPA event of the year. But I just came from a PPA Challenger
Okay.
in Punta Gorda. It was
Okay.
a very successful trip for me, winning men's doubles next to Camden Chaffin. Shout out
Wow.
to the best junior out there. It was my
Wow.
he was my partner, and it was an absolutely thrill to play with him, and we were able to get it done. We beat some good teams along the way, and yeah, it was a great start to start the year.
So just in summary, you are actually on tour. He's headed out to the beloved world of Palm Springs, and I'm assuming you got your dress whites then, right? Everybody's got to wear white. You excited
Yeah,
about that?
yeah. I'm only traveling with a backpack because that's all the white I have. All the white I have fits in my backpack.
That is awesome. Well, we'll definitely have to get Camden on. You'll have to give him a text message because I want to highlight him because, as you know, I love Junior, so I want to make sure we get him some flowers because I've heard his name several times, and as you know, he's a dog. Like he legitimately is an animal. He is going
Yeah.
to be a name that nobody is going to not know in a couple months' time. That's for sure. Well, I'm going to walk you through as a coach, but more importantly, as a traveling tour player, some questions that I've got that I know some of our people have put in. So I'm going to allow you to kind of answer as a active tour player your answers to a couple of these common questions. Okay, Juan?
Yep.
First
Absolutely.
one. What is the one daily habit that separates players who improve quickly from those who plateau?
I think those players who are able to get to the next level or master on the day to day different skills
Okay.
are just putting on the hours. They're putting on the reps because you're just gonna figure out your game the more contact you have with the ball.
Okay.
Uh, and that's something that we can put in any sport. I mean, you
That's
hear
true.
about the 10,000 hours, whatever
Yep.
that number is, from Michael
Yep.
Jordan, Kobe Bryant, or I recently heard watch a video of Tiger Woods. Growing up, he would make sure he made like it was something with like 2,000 contacts on the ball every day. He would
Yep.
get on the range. Something it's gotta be something similar in pickleball. Like I am hitting X amount of drops, X amount of drives, X amount of dinks. I am working on my hands. I am working on dinks out of the air. That those skills won't improve just by playing rec games
Mm-hmm.
and also taking every time you step on the court. I mean, if you're really serious about your development, you gotta take it seriously. Sometimes I see these 4-0 players or 4-5s, and I'm sure you can step right now on any park and you just see their ready position. Something as simple as that. And they look like they're in a walk in the park. They're nice and straight, paddle down, and like you can expect to play well when that's your mindset also, and in which reflects in your body language, you know.
Wow.
So in a way,
Wow.
like I tell this to all my students, get into it. You want to get better, you need to get into it. Like like because people relate pickleball, oh, it's an all men sport.
Sure.
So or like I don't have to really try that hard to play to a certain level, right?
Okay.
And like and but you at the end of the day, you're gonna get what you give, you know. If your demeanor, if your mentality, if your overall demeanor, uh once you step on the court is laid back, don't expect to play great.
Wow. I love it. I think you're absolutely right. And as a coach, it's one of the things that we try not to build our identity in our sport, but at the same time, how you do anything is how you do everything. So if you're going to do a really poor job of preparing your body or your mindset or the drills, well, then you're going to accept, you're going to expect poor performance. But if you really go into it, like you're talking about, it's really hard to compete against somebody who has 10, 15, 20 more hours that week in drilling than you do. You know what I mean? Good luck. You know what I mean? Good
Yep.
luck. Because
Yep.
just by the sheer numbers, they're better than you because they put more work in. Bottom
Yep.
line.
Yep.
All right. Next question I got for you. If you only had 30 minutes a day to train, what would you focus on?
Dinks out of
30
the
minutes a
air.
day. Where would it be?
Dinks out
Take dinks
Dinks
out of
out of
the
the
air.
air. Dinks out of the
Okay.
air and attacks out of the air.
I love it. I love it. What is the biggest mistake one that you see coaches make when they're developing intermediate players?
They teach players to drop and stay back and just almost like assess. It's like drop and like the footwork is, I wouldn't go all the way to say wrong, but it's not proper.
Okay.
I teach my drops stepping into the drop and leaning into the ball for you to have momentum to drop and capitalize on a good drop and be ready to reset that next ball in case it's not a bad drop, in case it's a bad drop.
Sure.
But dropping and moving forward. Okay. That's something that I see coaches, they drop and it looks static.
Mm,
Like I wish I can almost like stand here and show it. But
right.
but they it's like they teach the drop, they teach the proper form, hopefully, with their upper body, but then the body's going nowhere. What is the whole point of the third shot drop? You gotta get to the kitchen line. So that footwork for you to, while you are executing that third shot drop or fifth shot drop, you gotta get going. You know, and that's something that you see in all the pros that all the pros do, or the very good ones,
Sure.
that they capitalize on good drops. They're not wasting time behind the baseline or hoping or looking. It's like, oh, that's a good drop. Next thing you know, you're still on the baseline. So you didn't do anything.
You got to repeat the same exact
E-
thing you just did.
exactly. But now harder because now
Right.
your opponents are on the kitchen line, which you have
Right.
less time to react.
So true. We had Travis Rettenmeyer on one a couple weeks ago, and that was one of his tip of the day was basically that exact thing of teaching people how to make contact while they're in momentum, whether it
Yeah.
be returning the service or doing a drop, whatever it may be. Like he said the same exact thing to where he sees so many players that are basically stationary. They're literally at a standing still
Yeah.
point,
Yeah.
trying to understand why they have no momentum going in. And he does drill after drill after drill on
Yeah.
this, and it's great. It's a great
Bec-
tip, man. It really is.
because coaches they teach also patience on the way up, and that's not a bad thing to teach. But you gotta also be proactive while you hit the shot for you to get the most out of your good drop. Otherwise, again, you like you said yourself, you're gonna have to do it again.
Yeah, I mean, but it's going to be harder because now they have momentum going with them, and I've got a guy like you across the net for me who's now you're at the net. Good luck. I mean, it's the point's over. I
Yeah,
don't stand a chance to drop it into you.
yeah.
All right. How do you personally structure up a productive practice versus just hitting balls? This is a good one. So, how do you literally do you have like a pre-planned? Do you have something that you set up? What would you recommend that to personally structure a productive practice versus just hitting balls?
So at one point, not too long ago, I was struggling with my force. Okay,
Okay,
with my force on the run, rolling or balling that first one, dealing with a hard drive while I was just sprinting across the court, picturing in this drill with my drilling partner, a situation in which we were stacking or de-stacking.
sure.
Um, and we just prioritize those four shots for 30 minutes or 45 minutes. We just did those four shots. We serve hard, we return firmly, we drive, and we hit that fourth with intention. Okay. And any player at any given level can get a lot out of this drill because
Okay,
it's everything. It's everything. I mean, it's everything. At the lower level, how many times we don't make the returns? We don't make our
right,
thirds. Call it a drop or a drive. We're just making unforced errors, you know? Or forced errors if the return is good, or forced
right.
error if the drive or the drop is good. But those four shots is the consistency and the quality of them is what really brings your level up at any point.
Wow, I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it. What skill do amateur players overvalue and what do they underestimate?
And I think they know, amateurs know the importance, but they don't know how to do it right, and it's footwork.
Okay.
They
Okay.
just don't know. If you don't have an athletic background, and also like what I was saying earlier, that like people just put together pickleball with either old people sport or
Sure.
lazy-ish sport. It's like again, they're not into it. So when they're
Right.
like drilling or when they're in playing the reg games, you see their footwork and it's almost non-existent, you
Mm,
know?
mm,
So So there's something that like every amateur out there who's serious about this, about their sport, about their progress and improvement, they gotta take at some point a lesson from a good pro. Teach me how to move. Teach me how to be efficient. Because at the end, like if you watch like this and this, I said this almost every lesson. If you watch, like I asked him, do you watch pickleball? I said yes. And like, don't you feel like it's doable? It's like, yeah, of course. It is very much doable because they're so efficient with their footwork that it looks doable. If you take shot by shot, and let's go all the way to Ben Joss, it's like, I think I can do a lot of those shots
Hmm.
because it looks efficient. Like every motion, every the position of his body, every step has a purpose, but you have to do it, you know, and you got to know how to do it. Otherwise, and this is where in a way the amateurs get discouraged because they get two different feedback or two different coaching styles. It's like to move a lot or not to move. It's like, hey, don't move so much. It's like,
Right.
hey, but move, you got to move more. And then unless you have a good coach walking you through the specific steps to be efficient, you don't know what you're doing out there.
Wow. I could feed into that so much, man. So, as you know, or maybe you don't know, but I have a baseball background. I'm a baseball coach and a pickleball coach. And we have a saying on baseball that every ground ball is fielded with your feet, it's not fielded with your legs. In pickleball, I coach the same exact way. Every shot one is done with your feet way before the paddle ever touches the ball. And the people that look the most efficient have the best feet work. But you know what? They work on it. They
They work on it.
literally work on it. It's not something you just wake up and you're like, oh, I've got good feet work. I remember a few weeks ago I was in Myrtle Beach playing, and my this is the first time that my daughter's actually seen me play. And she
Uh-huh.
came up to me when we got done and she said, hey, you move like an athlete. And I started laughing. I was like, well, thank you. But I say that because just like you said, you know when you have somebody that knows what they're doing with feet work and when they don't. Bottom
Yep.
line. And it changes the way that they play. Every sport
Absolutely.
has to have footwork. Every sport,
Absolutely.
including pickleball.
Yep.
All
Absolutely.
right. Next one is going to be one that I love about you. How important is the mindset in daily development compared to your physical reps? So, for instance, when I saw you playing Anderson Scarpa here in Charleston, which, by the way, I think you ended up winning, you did really, really well. One of the things that I love about you is that I feel like you're very encouraging to yourself, but not obnoxious, but you're constantly talking yourself up through it, right? Because this
Yep.
game's hard.
Yep.
Walk us through the listener on how important that is to be able to communicate to yourself. You know what I mean, as far as your own player.
I'm gonna make it as simple as possible. It comes down to going into the next point with a positive mindset, regardless of what happened in the previous point. So as simple as that. Because
Wow,
yeah, it's as
I
simple as
love.
that. So because you're gonna lose points, you're gonna lose points that you felt like you did poorly, and unless you talk your way out of it, like either mentally or if you say it out loud, like I do that myself, it's like, hey, this point right now, positive energy. Come on, you got this. Like as simple as and as quick as that phrase might be, it just changes everything. Because otherwise, if I don't say anything to myself, I'm still bringing along to the next point. I might have some negative thoughts. You know,
Sure.
it's like, shoot, that was a very bad roll, or that was an awful return. I was like, shoot, how can I miss that serve? It's like if I go with something like that into the next, I'm very likely gonna miss the next point, or I'm gonna
Sure.
lose it because my mind is in the wrong mindset. So I need to bring myself ASAP to where it needs to be if I want to win this match.
I love it, man. It's in sports we call it the goldfish mentality, right? Like you literally have to be able to immediately go on to the next point. Like it has to be next point
Absolutely,
mentality,
there is
or one error turns into three errors before you know it.
exactly. You don't want to turn an error into a game, and it happens a lot. We know how mm, how how of a sport of momentum and like
Oh,
it just can shift so quickly. So like there is no time for you to uh, just stand there and pout and just
right.
hope for a miracle to win the next point. No, you gotta talk your way into greatness. Let's call it. It's like you
Sure.
want you wanna be great. You wanna talk yourself out of being negative, and you gotta talk your way into being positive. And like and like the brain, it's in a way. dumb, meaning if you say it, even if you don't mean it, you still can. But let's say like let's say I just lost a point,
Okay.
and obviously I should be upset, but I just tell myself, even if I don't mean it, come on, Juan, this point you got this. Now all of a sudden I'm back into I'm a positive mindset, or at least that's what happens to me sometimes. I just lost a point, and for a second or two, I just like should like I really wanted that point, or like I that was a poor point, or like or I just went into a dark hole for a second. But even if I don't mean it, I gotta talk my way out of it. That's my 2 cents with that.
I love it. I feel like you're absolutely right. And it's one of the most vital things. And one of the things that you said, though, too, is just how much of a game of pickleball is momentum because the games are so fast, right? We're only
So
playing
quick.
to 11 points. I mean, or sometimes when we're doing MLP or whatever, we go to 21, but even that's rally. So it's super fast. And before you know it, you can win a match. But before you know it, you can lose a match and have no idea that you were even the match. I mean, it's
Yep,
that quick sometimes. So
absolutely.
I love the mindset, man, that you talk about, and just the kudos to you. I watched you at a lengthy time, and I love the way that you're constantly feeding energy into yourself, which I feel like is huge. If you could coach your younger self, Juan, what would you change immediately?
Well, I started playing pickleball about 2 years and a half ago, so I was already older.
Okay, I got you. I got you. I got
But
you.
I think since I started, I would really put emphasis, and I said it already, dinks out of the air. You gotta develop the touch and attacks out of the air. Develop the touch and the strength and the feel for hitting quality balls out of the air. Because a lot from my tennis background, I want to hit everything off the bounce.
Sure.
I want to give myself that time and space, uh, which at times, because I don't have the confidence that I would like to have out of the air, I let balls bounce when I shouldn't.
Mm,
Yeah,
mm.
I'm trying to be better at that, and I actually did really well in Punta Gorda just now, and that was one of the reasons why we were able to win because I'm always putting constant pressure, always looking like a threat, um, and looking like a threat without really taking that much risk because I'm already out there. I'm already anticipated. I'm already hunting for the ball out of the air, which makes me a threat in the kitchen. Um, but I think that's something that I still would like to get better at. And that's something that Ben Jones does almost to perfection and Tardio as well on the right side, that they're always choking you little by little with taking time away from you. So I think that's something that I would have liked to start doing earlier instead of um, feeding into what I wanted to get out of the points, which was a lot of balls off the bounce, call
Sure.
it a dink or call it a speed up of the bounce.
Sure.
And that's something that I still working on. So yeah, if I were to start all over again, I would prioritize uh, developing my shots out of the air.
Yeah, to feed in that, man, one of the things that I love to do, and I'm sure you do it as well, is watching the females, because especially like Anna Lee, like they attack. I feel like, I don't know how you feel, but I feel like every shot that chick's looking to attack you. Like it doesn't matter where it's at on the court, how low below the net, where it is in transition. She is coming after your soul with every single shot that she's got. And even as a coach, it's one of the things that I'm consistently trying to get better as a player myself of like, hey, if there's no such thing as an unattackable ball now. At the level of pickleball and the way the paddles are, every ball is attackable.
Yep.
And the way I watch you guys, it's the same way. Like every shot to very rarely now do you see like a true legitimate, hey, we're going to reset this to set up the next point. I feel like you guys are attacking everything from everywhere right now. Do
Yeah.
you agree?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, obviously, like you do gotta acknowledge at some point when your opponents hit a good shot and you're gonna clearly look in defense. Because let's say if you have in front of you uh, Ben Jones and he's doing a
Sure.
full wind up of a forehand. Okay, you're not leaning into it. You're
Right.
looking to reset or counter at best, you know?
Right.
And like even if you make that counter, you know that he's ready for the next one, you
Right.
know?
Right.
So yeah, you just gotta play a lot to get to know yourself and your opponents and knowing your level of I'm forgetting this word right now of how much can you stand? How quick are your hands?
Okay.
Am I okay? Am I okay leaning forward even when my opponents look like a threat? Or what am I looking for in this next shot? And that's something which that makes Anna Bright and Anna Lee Waters as dangerous as you are, which what you were saying. They look like they can pull every single time, you
Right.
know.
Right.
So that's something that you just gotta be very mindful of, and like with your how close to the line are you getting? Where is your paddle? Are you getting extra ready? What are you supposed to cover? Is your partner covering the right areas?
Sure.
So that's something that everybody can take notes and can work on.
So good, man. Juan, how should players track their progress without getting discouraged? Everybody wants, you and I both know, everybody that you and I coach wants to be pro tomorrow, right? Like literally,
Yeah,
everybody's got this vision of being pro. How
yeah.
do you track your progress and how do you encourage your players to track their progress without getting discouraged?
And that's a great question, and I don't know I have the answers.
So
I would
here,
just say, go ahead.
here's where I'm at with it, and I want your take on this. I feel like progress is forward momentum, no matter how big or how small the step is. So if you and I have a goal that we're just going to work on feet work, and this time next week we don't measure, then how in the world do we know if our footwork was better or not, right? So
Yeah,
I'm really big on measurement, and whatever
yeah,
that measurement looks like, I encourage all of my players to, hey, I'm big on video, but I'm also big on like literally just tracking what we're doing so that I can see where they're at. If it's a weight
yeah,
thing, if it's a movement thing, if it's a skill shot, like you're saying, dinking out of the air, I feel like if we don't record it or if we don't have it on video, how do we know how much better we were than what we were last week or last month? You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. Absolutely. I think with my students, I believe I have a good enough eye for me to point it out and and like point for me to point it out and tell them, and they do notice. But besides that, for the competitive players, they they should play as often as possible, maybe at least two times a week, a tournament,
Sure. Sure.
and that's more of a tangible result, a tangible feedback, and not just drilling or playing regs and playing with the same people. No, go out there, play a Duper tournament. I mean, Duper itself. I mean, believe it or not, like I know some people that are against it or for it in terms of their accuracy,
Sure.
but like if you're good, you're good. If you're putting on the time, you're putting on the hours, you're practicing, you're developing your game, and you're competing, it's gonna show.
it's it it is what it is, right? Like in other sports, and I'm sure you know other sports as well, but like your record tells you what you are, right? Like your
Abs-
record doesn't lie. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
it's the biggest feedback in the way that you can actually see what you're doing, and also, like you said, the levels of what you're playing. I feel like we just got to get more comfortable playing up, and that's one of the discouraging things that I can see with Duper, to where now because Duper is so guarded, when you get to a certain number, you no longer have players that are as welcoming to play you. Like for instance, if
Yeah.
I were to play you on and you're a 6'3" and I'm a 4'6", it really does. It hurts you to play me. You know what I mean? It's great for me. It's great for my
Yeah.
Duper to go up to play against Juan, but the way the algorithm is right now, it penalizes you to play with me. You know what I mean? So I want them to do a better job of figuring out how that is, because if not, we're going to bottleneck the growth of our, of our levels. But
Yeah.
I know Tito well. I know he's on it. I'm part of the Vanguard, Duper team, so I'm helping them with, coming up with formulas to help on that stuff too. But I am like you, to where I feel like at the end of the day, even if you don't Duper rate it, you and I can drill together. You know what I mean? You and I can play some matches together when we're doing a rec or when we're off court, we're not in a tournament. And then that way we're both improving each other. Even if you're significantly better than me, there's things that you can work on while you're playing against a guy like me.
Absolutely. Without a doubt.
All right, well, we're getting close to now. I want to know a little bit about where you're at, where you see 2026. Everybody, I want them to know Juan Benitez better. So where are you at right now? What's your goals for 2026? And who's some flowers that we need to send out to? Who are you sponsored by? What are you looking like? How is exciting 2026? Because you're on the rise. You're a guy that's on the up and up. Tell us a little bit about you so that folks know how to follow you along.
Well, it starts. It started already in Punta Gorda, and if
Sure.
you're gonna throw any flowers, let's throw them to Camden. I mean, that
Okay.
kid can compete. It
Okay.
was a pleasure playing with him. To the point we're both talking. It's like, hey, should we just cancel on everybody else the rest of the season and let's pair it up the whole season? We
Right.
talked about it, and it's something that I hope it comes to fruition. And I'm gonna have to send some unfortunate text to some other, but like in a way, like we both. It was kind of like um, eureka moment. It's like this is what you're looking for. Like as a left side player,
Right.
like I'm looking for someone like you, and like he also like we kind of look like yeah, I want someone like you. It's like okay, what are we waiting for? But
Right.
but we already set up the schedule with some other players, so we just gotta see if it's gonna worked out for the both of us.
Understood. I get that.
In terms of sponsors, Ringer Wear,
Yep.
Jason Aspis, he's been by my side, helping me out in every way he can. In terms of clothing, and he's been vouching for me in the UPA tremendously. So I really gotta give it to him. I'm currently the director of Diadem Pickleball Complex in
Okay.
Coconut Creek. So Gene DeVito as my partner and slash boss. He's been great to me, being super flexible for me to be able to do this pretty much full time in terms of competition.
Sure.
Not full time in terms of practice because I got bills to pay. So I coach.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I coach basically full time, and whenever I have a gap, I try to set up games or drilling sessions with some of my friends. So that's how I'm able to stay sharp. Anna Bright, I coach her a few times a week, and she has been able to keep me sharp, keep me on my toes. I mean, she's a great player. She's a tough cookie at times,
Yes.
but but yeah, she's amazing. I mean, in terms of how determined and competitive she is, and even if our practice sessions, the focus is all on her, it still keeps me sharp enough to be able to win tournaments like last week. Who else? I mean, I think that's my wife. My wife has been
Which is,
great.
yeah, huge
Uh,
support.
yeah, huge support for me just to be able to travel, and she takes care of everything else at home. So yeah, it's been great with her. And there's this guy who is not officially a sponsor. His name is Neil Browner. He's
Okay.
one of my students. I started with him when he was a 2.5 or so, and he's currently getting closer to a 4.0.
Okay.
And he's been helping me in many ways for me to be able to travel and to cover my expenses. So I gotta give him a shout out. He's been great to me.
That's
Very
awesome.
very grateful for his support. And yeah, the PPA overall. I mean,
Sure.
they signed me. They didn't have to. Even I mean, I won the draft with the. I don't know if you're familiar with how I got signed. The Kitchen Pickleball
Yeah.
had a how do you call
Like a
um,
contest.
like a contest, and about 60 to 80 male players showed up, and there was a contract on the line, and I got it. Jack Monroe was the judge,
Okay.
and uh, Jake Paul.
Yeah. Jared. Was it Jake
Jared,
Paul or Jared Paul?
yeah,
Jared Paul. Yeah. Jared Paul.
Jared
Yep.
Paul, yeah,
Yep.
Jared, and Jared Paul. They are the ones who decided to give me the contract, and that's why I was able to play on tour all last year. So really lucky and grateful for that opportunity for me to be able to get the contract. And yeah, this is basically my last season. My second season on tour. Sorry, I didn't mean to say last. My second season. It's like yeah, no, there's a lot of pickleball left to be played.
Absolutely, man.
So
I've seen
yeah,
you, dude. You've got a lot more. You've got a lot more left in you. I can assure you that. I have definitely been thoroughly impressed. Well, dude, I've loved it. If it's okay with you, we're gonna follow up with you maybe 6 months. Some to see how the season's going. You know what I mean? Check back in with you. And definitely, if you would, before you go, so you're out of Boca. It seems like everybody in the world in pickleball in these days is out of Boca. Give me, let's say, one consistent improvement that you would want one of your students to work on while you're away. So, if your coach's tip from Juan, what does one consistent improvement look like that they can actually do from week to week so that you know they're getting better?
hands hands battles.
Hands. Hands battles. I'm going to write this down. Hands battles.
Reaction time, just hand-eye coordination. I mean, and I go back and like I don't emphasize this enough sometimes in my lessons. Get into it. Like when you're doing volley to volley with your drilling partner, like you really gotta get after it in terms of every volley my partner hits, I'm gonna get it back. And like just you gotta turn on a different switch in your mind. And it happens to me when I'm having a practice session with someone. At times I miss some. And I realize I catch myself like, you know what? Your mind went away for a second. And if it happens to me being a high performance athlete, imagine to
Sure.
the amateur, their mind is going to fly away for minutes, if not hours. And they might not even be engaged for a whole drilling session, fully engaged,
Right,
you
right,
know?
right.
So, and, and, and we know how important hand-eye coordination is. There is like we gotta work consistently in our reaction time. So it's a simple way, and it's a fun way to either warm up or finish up a training session uh, with your partner or your coach or with someone. Just go out there, like just focus on your hand-eye coordination, your quickness, your reaction time for as long as you can, and just keep the quality and intensity high.
I love it. Juan, you're an animal. I'm rooting for you, buddy. I can't wait to see you again. I cannot wait to follow up with you in 6 to 8 months because I know you got a lot of dubs coming that way, buddy. Hey, good luck to you out there. We're going to be cheering you on. And thank you so much, man, for being on the Smashing Plastic podcast, Juan.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, guys.
Hey everyone, Coach Tommy here. Thanks for tuning in to Smashing Plastic. Big shout out to Sean Monahan for the music, production, and editing. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe for more awesome content, and be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Those links are in the description. Now let's get out there and smash some plastic.